Bears fan podcast, like, follow, subscribe. I know we talked about last week we were going to do our Would You Rather, and we still are, but big news. I'm sure you guys have all heard it. We have all heard it. And we gave it was a couple of days we sat on it before we spoke on it. But Micah Parsons to the Green Bay Packers. I'm in this scenario, the worst possible outcome if it could have played out for a Bears fan on how the Micah Parsons Dallas Cowboys saga ended. It's definitely not what I wanted to hear. I've been banging on the table. The reason we had to get him was because this was going to happen. I didn't. There was rumors I had messaged you that I really hadn't heard except for the last few days where Green Bay was trying to get him. I just knew the Lions were chomping at the bits that they had put together a big offer for Myles Garrett. And in my head, if they were offering for Myles Garrett, I'm assuming they were at least spinning the tires on a Michael Parsons deal. But I hate to see it. 4 years, 193 or 188. I keep seeing different numbers.
188.
88 is the 93. Is that like what he's still owed? Is that like plus what his like he's owed on his rookie deal? Is I'm guessing because I keep seeing a couple other ones. But either way, 120 guaranteed, biggest I think defensive or non-quarterback contract ever. 47 a year average. I'm assuming it's a little less in the beginning and more at the end. Um, but yeah, kind of disheartening. Wanted to see your thoughts, what you feel. I think Bears fans are 50-50 on this. We're trusting polls. A lot of people see that contract. They didn't want to pay it. Parsons has got injury stuff going on. He's got his
Yeah.
own, he's got
So,
a podcast.
well, it's
So,
not just that. So, looking at the injury that he's got, he requires epidural shots like in between quarters in order just to play, and that's in between the L4 and L5, which is if anybody who knows who's had a back injury, that's really hard to play through the pain. I did it. What was it? Sophomore year of high school. And I still have back issues because of it to this day. I can only imagine how a professional athlete, deals with it, especially, having to have epidurals. He is going to have back surgery at some point. We don't know when that is, but he will have to have it, and he will be out for an extended period of time. And with all that money being tied up, Green Bay is in a position that the Bears were in 2018, where they think they got the guy. They're going all in. They're pushing all their chips in the middle. So be it. Am I disappointed that he's not a Chicago Bear? I'm more disappointed he's a Green Bay Packer than he is not a Chicago Bear. Because if he would
I
have
would
went
agree.
somewhere
I agree
else,
with that take. I would
yeah,
say I agree with that.
if he would have went somewhere else, not a
Like the
big deal.
Patriots,
But
I wouldn't have. Yeah, I wouldn't have really. I mean,
but
I
my whole
still wanted
point,
to get him.
yeah, absolutely. It's just Jerry Jones said it in his press conference, and there was a lot of other rumors and stuff like that that they wanted an all pro caliber type of player on the defensive line in return, along with the 2 first-round picks. The Bears didn't have that. I'm
I know
sure
that's what
Ryan
they're
Poles.
saying, but I'm
I'm
guessing if we
sure
would,
Ryan Poles picked up the phone and asked, but his defensive coordinator down in Dallas is Matt Eberflus.
I
Who
don't know.
knows?
I mean, I heard that, but I mean, are we thinking that they wouldn't have taken three first, a second, and Gervon Dexter
They
for him
wanted
instead of like I understand that, and I don't get the Kenny Clark hate. I don't know if it's because he's really been a nightmare for us over the last 5 to 10 years. So that part I agree that he's a stud. I know he had a down year last year, but he always kicks our butt. He's a really good football player, all pro caliber. When he's healthy and when he's doing what he does. So that part I don't get. But my huge problem with all this, and it's we missed on Hendrickson too, is we were sold that like we were doing certain things. So when things like this happened, we were gonna get people like this. We were gonna spend money. We were gonna go do these things, and it's like we I mean, I like the Grady Jarrett sign. It's not bad, but Dio has been uneventful. Booker's bad draft pick. We just cut two of Poles' draft picks. Like, who did we spend
Well,
this
we don't
money
know
on?
about Booker yet. It's only a second year. We
Well, I
can't
mean,
really.
I'm just saying, like, he's gonna sit out this whole year. He ain't getting 10 sacks this year.
He's only missing the first 4 games.
Yeah, but I mean, I understand that. I'm just saying he's not getting 10 sacks because he missed the first 4 games.
Anything's
So
possible.
I mean,
It's
if
very
that happens, then
unlikely.
yes. But that's
Very
the only hope.
unlikely.
Yes, that's our only hope now is Booker, and it's like we don't got Dio. We could have got Joey Bosa. We could have got Von Miller. Khalil Mack was available. You know what I mean? And we could have pried him away. Um, and we settled for Dio. And if you were, I watch him. He did nothing in the preseason. Again, maybe it's preseason. They're not trying to show, but nothing. Dexter looks okay, so we can live with that. But it's just like it's disheartening to
Oh,
build on
very.
what you said is not only did we not get him, but the Packers got him, and that was my worst fear that he was going to end up on the Lions or the Packers, and not only were we not going to get him, but we're going to have to face him twice. And I
With
just
a question at left tackle as well.
yes, and exactly, we don't really know who our guy is. I'm a defender of Braxton Jones, but he's not it. I mean, having to face Micah Parsons, I mean, that's not who we want anchoring, trying to stop him.
No.
But yeah, I wanted to start off with that. It just when I got that news, it's frustrating. And I was arguing with people like the Packers don't do stuff like that. They never have ever. So
No.
when I saw the reports, I'm like, I was arguing with somebody. I'm like, literally, the Packers have never done anything. Like I can't imagine the Packers trading multiple first round picks for a player and to pay him a gajillion dollars. Like they've never,
Yep.
besides Aaron Rodgers, I guess, which you had no choice. They never really set the market on really any position players like that, and or traded multiple first
$47 million
or
a year.
traded multiple first. They've never traded a first round pick. And well, in our lifetime, I think I looked in the last 35 years, they haven't traded a first round draft pick. So it was interesting to see them make that move. That like you said, clearly they think they're Super Bowl contenders. They were close, and I guess they are now. I don't know, I'm a hater, so I still don't see it. I don't think Jordan Love's the guy, but
I don't
uh,
think Jordan loves the guy either, but you paid your quarterback. You have no money invested into the wide receiver position. So Green Bay's hoping that Matthew Golden works out, pair him with Christian Watson and Jalen Reed and everything else like that. So you don't have too much money in the wide receiver market. You got rid of Jair Alexander in the offseason. You cut him, you freed up some money. So now you're paying over $100 million to two positions. You're going to end up like the Dallas Cowboys here in a couple of years, where if somebody does step up and you have to pay them, somebody like Matthew Golden,
yeah,
are you going to be able to
it's a
do it?
bad thing now. Like when one of your guys turns out to be good. But we'll see interesting how it plays out. I'm not wishing anybody gets hurt or anything like that, and it sucks that we are not going to get to see him. Honestly, I think also a little bit of Jerry similar to Green Bay. It's like, oh, we're going to ship you to Wisconsin. I'm not going to send you to Chicago. Even if we're not contenders, we're still like historic. He'd probably coming to Chicago. He probably would have made twice as much money throughout his career in sponsorships and sales, jersey sales, and all type of stuff than going to Green Bay. So, and I'm sure, and the Bears organization is got. So, I mean, I know Green Bay does too, but I think it's more of a historic brand, and I don't think Jerry wanted Micah Parsons to ride off into the sunset. But that being said, we'll get into our yearly portion of Would You Rather the Bears quarterback or one of these other quarterbacks. We always go back and forth on how we're going to decide if it's just this season. I always think I was going to set the parameters of would you rather have him or this person for the next 2 or 3 years, the remainder of Caleb's contract as a rookie.
The
4 years.
remainder of Caleb's
So
contract.
2 more years after. Well, he's in year 2, so 2 more years after this. We'll do it that way.
Okay, so for
Um,
the next 3 years, this year, including the next
in
two,
2 more years, would you rather have Caleb or said person? Let me pull this up. I got some page.
from a talent standpoint, or because coaching matters too?
Well, I mean, we got Ben Johnson, so the coaching should matter. I mean,
All right,
is Ben
let's
Johnson
do
with
this.
anybody?
I'm ready.
All right. Would you rather Caleb Williams or Cam Ward? Um, this one, I don't know, for me, I guess I would have to say Caleb. We haven't seen Cam Ward play yet. He's coming from a down quarterback class. And Caleb was one of a generational talent. We've heard it many times. So I'll go Caleb.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Caleb on this as well. Rookies, it's always gonna be Caleb over a rookie because we haven't seen exactly what
And
he has to offer yet.
and we griped on Caleb, but he had pretty good rookie numbers. We just would you rather Caleb or Joe Flacco?
Caleb.
Yeah, obviously Caleb.
Caleb.
Joe,
Oh, I mean,
I mean,
Flacco's washed.
Yeah, he's on his way out
Cleveland's
the
going to
door.
be towards the bottom of the standings this year. I'd be
You think so?
surprised.
I don't know. I think they have too good of a defense. They'll be middle of the pack. They win a lot of games on defense alone.
They got a tough division.
One of Caleb's draft mates. Would you rather Caleb or Bo Nix? And this was kind of brought up your coaching question, where people thought Bo Nix only had a better rookie year than Caleb because of the coaching. I guess I don't really know. It's hard to tell because Sean Payton had Russell Wilson, and
Well,
he didn't.
Russell Wilson still had one of his, better, touchdown interception ratios under Sean Payton. But
Yeah,
oh, man, Bo Nix was so good last year.
yeah.
Oh, this is tough. This is
I'll
tough.
go. I'll go. I'll say Caleb. I think Bo Nix played good, and he silenced a lot of the haters. But I just think Caleb's more talented than him, and their numbers weren't far off. Bo just did a lot of winning and wins. You know what I mean? Defense got to play a part, coaching got to play a part, and Matt Eberflus is one of the worst head coaches the NFL has seen.
Uh, I give the slight edge to Caleb only because I feel like his ceiling is higher.
Yes, I think he's got more zip. But Bo is good, and I think Bo's gonna have a nice long career. Him and Sean Payton will be at the hip, and yeah, so, let's see, Brock Purdy or Caleb Williams. I think to be just if you're being unbiased, you have to say Brock Purdy. He's done so much
Yeah,
already.
I want to say Broad. He's done a lot more, and
Obviously, talent
he's
is
got a good
biased.
play. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's got a good player or a good play caller already. And so far he's looked the part. He's delivered.
yeah.
So yeah, I would give
More
the
than
edge.
delivered. He was Mr. Irrelevant, I believe.
Yeah,
And
from the first pick in the draft all the way to the last pick in the draft.
and yeah, and he doesn't get enough credit because it's going to be a hell of a story. He's going to have a Hallmark movie made out of him because I mean he's almost won the MVP. He's probably going to be top five a couple more times. But yeah, I have to give the nod to Brock just because he has proven it. It's hard to. This is a good one. I think this is probably be the closest one. Would you rather Bryce Young or Caleb Williams?
Caleb Williams. I did not like Bryce coming out of college. I thought he was too
That I
small,
agree. I agree. I think
frail.
I don't like him either. I'll go Caleb too, but I think this is really close. Bryce Young had a bad rookie year, but last year he showed why he was a
He
top
improved.
pick.
Yeah, he
But they have
improved the
nobody.
last.
They got no. Their best wide receiver was a washed up Adam Thielen. Um, so it's hard. It was hard to judge him, but he really matured. He played very well. Yeah, I definitely take Caleb. He's bigger. He's stronger. Bigger arm. More upside. And Bryce Young has had more time to prove it, and he really hasn't. Another easy one. Would you rather Joey B or Caleb Williams? I mean, obviously, we're both gonna say Joe Burrow. He's him.
Yeah.
They've had a disappointing year last year. They didn't make the
Even
playoffs, which
that
is crazy.
picture, even that picture just screams aura.
Yeah,
Just
and body. Let's just say Joe Burrow is just a body. He's got that Tom Brady feel. And yeah, I'd like to see him win a few more. But
I love Joe
the
Burrow.
AFC is just so tough. Those guys. Would you rather Geno Smith or Caleb Williams, career journeyman Geno Smith, who's had a resurgence in some nice few years?
Well, if we're talking about the next 2 or 3 years, I'm going Caleb
Oh
here.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Gino's towards the end of his run. I mean, he's a good player, um, but I'm taking Caleb just because of the upside over the next
Yeah,
couple of years.
it's obviously Caleb Geno, but it's nice to see him a bust turning around. Really, one of the only few that ever really have, and in a real way.
Absolutely.
Would you rather? We've talked about this a lot. This is probably a hot topic amongst NFC North guys, but Jared Goff or Caleb Williams? Um,
You know
again,
my opinion on this.
yeah.
I
I
feel
mean, go
I
ahead.
feel like Jared Goff is the most underrated quarterback in the league. I'm taking Jared Goff.
I guess I would have to take Jared Goff. I'm not his biggest fan, but just statistics don't lie. I mean, he's done it on two different teams. He's been to the Super Bowl. He's thrown for 4,000 yards on multiple occasions with multiple different coaches that are wide receiving cores and coaching staff. So yeah, Jared Goff is, and I'm one of them, but I do think he gets a lot of hate. But I personally get to because he's in our division, so we just shit on him. But I do think historically, we're going to look back at Jared Goff and people are going to be like, why didn't people talk more about him? Like, why weren't they saying more nice things about him? Because as a young player, he went, to the Super Bowl, went blow for blow with Brady. And they only lost, what was it, 20-3 or 17-3 or something like that. I forgot what it was, six.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, here. Would you rather Danny Dimes, who beat out Anthony Richardson, or Caleb Williams?
Caleb Williams.
Yeah,
I don't even think that needs any explanation.
yeah. I mean, I don't. Yes, obviously he's just better. Danny Dimes, I think, gets a little too much hate because he plays on dumpster fire teams. It's not his fault that the fucking Giants kept him and let Saquon walk.
He gets the bag though. I'll give him that.
Yeah, he did. I mean, he got his money. He should have. Would you rather another one of Caleb's draft mates, Drake May or Caleb Williams? I guess I'll start. I don't really know. This one's a tough one. I'll just say Caleb because he's our guy. But there's really nothing statistically or anything I saw in any of their rookie seasons that would make me think that 100% he's going to be better than or Caleb's going to be better than Drake May. Drake May. I mean, they both just got new coaches. Their new coaches do different things, but winning is really the barometer. So I mean, if we could put up all the flashy numbers we want, but if Drake May's leading Vrabel's team and they're winning and doing things, but I'll say Caleb.
Drake May was my number one quarterback coming out of that draft class. And I'm sticking with it. I would take Drake May over the next 2 or 3 years over Caleb Williams right now.
We'll see. And like I said, nothing I saw just because I'm a homer. Caleb's our guy. I picked him, but there's nothing I saw where makes me think Caleb is going to be better than Drake May. Matty Stafford or Caleb Williams? Would you rather?
I mean, Hall of Famer, in my opinion. Towards the end of his career, though, injuries, if we're talking about the next 2 or 3 years, I'm going Caleb Williams just for the fact that he could stay on the field. And, he's not going to retire in the next year or two.
No, I agree. Yeah, obviously Matt Stafford is better than Caleb, and he'll probably be better than him this year. But he's already banged up, and him playing Week 1 was in question. Like 2 3 years down the road. I mean, Matt Stafford's not going to be playing, and I think he may play one more season after this. This day and age, you're not going to be seeing these guys play until they're super old, like Favre. I mean, I think Rodgers kind of did it. Brady did it because he was a nut, but these guys make so much money. Like, why would you? At a certain point, like, unless you're chasing, like I said, Brady was getting ring number 7. Like, why would you play again? Like, go through the whole grueling thing of a season just to be a backup or whatever. But Matt Stafford, probably, like I said, probably his swan song this last season. Maybe get one more out of him. Would you rather Jalen Hurts or Caleb Williams? This was a big topic of discussion the last few months. We really didn't hit on it. People were going at Cam Newton because he was saying he was better than Jalen Hurts. It's a weird discussion because,
which I disagree with Cam Newton on that. I think Jalen Hurts is better than Cam Newton.
I don't disagree with him. No, I think Cam Newton is better than Jalen Hurts.
I don't think so. Cam Newton had like 2 good years in the league.
No, that's not true. He had more than 2.
That is very true. Cam Newton had 2 good years in the league. And after his legs gave out, that's all, you know what I'm saying? After his legs gave out and he couldn't run anymore, Cam Newton became irrelevant.
But I mean, Jalen Hurts has only had 1 or 2 good years. Like, so it's
but you know what? His legs are still rolling right now. And he's going to have a longer career and a better established career than Cam Newton.
But that was his argument that he went to a better organization. He's on the Eagles who
got matter.
A Super Bowl with Nick Foles. That does matter. I think that does.
That does not matter.
So then it doesn't matter that Caleb, that what he did with Matt Eberflus, that didn't matter. Like, that's why I'm like, where people are being disingenuous when they're saying that, like, we'll blame all of Caleb's faults and the Bears on Matt Eberflus, but Cam Newton's not better than, like, we can't say that Cam Newton is better than Caleb.
Cam Newton was more talented, but he never was able to put
That's what's saying better somebody. He was the MVP, so he was.
Come on now. He, like I said, there's plenty of one-hit wonders in the NFL that have won MVP.
I don't know if there's plenty. I don't know if there's any. One-hit wonders?
There's plenty of one-hit wonders that have won
MVP. Last 35 MVP winners. I don't think there is. Maybe Rich Gannon. That's the only person who's really coming to my mind.
Well, we've also
but he's also not a one-hit wonder. He's a Heisman National Championship
Brady.
Winner.
No, if we're talking the next 2 or 3 years, kind of got off topic a little bit. If we're talking the next 2 or 3 years, and see, it's kind of tough because if you're looking at coaching as well as part of this, I don't know if see that's tough.
Well,
Just
this well
because
no this how could it be tough if you just said that he was better than Cam Newton? Like if he's better than Cam Newton, the MVP, then he's clearly better than Caleb Williams, the mediocre
yeah, but
rookie.
everybody has their strengths, and if you're taking into account coaching, um, I feel like Ben Johnson would scheme something up around Jalen Hurts. So I would take Jalen Hurts over the next 2 or 3 years over Caleb Williams.
I mean, yeah, I'd have to. I mean, personally, I think Jalen. I don't want to use the word overrated. I just think he's on a really good team. I think you could throw a lot of bad or mediocre quarterbacks on that team, and they would have like. Do you think? I think Baker Mayfield would be great on the Eagles, throwing to AJ Brown and fucking Devontae Smith. But to be fair, I just have to say Jalen. He's proved it. Super Bowl champion, put up two big games in the Super Bowl nonetheless as well. Um, Outplayed Brady and or Mahomes in both of them. But to close it off, I do think Cam Newton's trying to stay a little relevant, but I don't think Jalen Hurts is better than him. I think if Cam Newton spent his whole career in the Eagles, he'd be a multiple Super Bowl champion. They just have a really good organization who build a great team to support their team, and they do cap wondristry and yeah. Another good one. Jaden Daniels or Caleb Williams? Would you rather? I'm gonna start. And I'm gonna say. I mean, just based on last year, I don't say Jaden Daniels. I mean, obviously, coaching matters sometimes, but the kid balled out last year. He was really good. The red zone in the playoffs on third down, using his legs. Washington was. I mean, obviously they were better coached. Well, nobody will debate that, but they weren't a more talented team. And honestly, I mean, he was their leader. I don't know if Mariota was their quarterback all year. Would they have done the same thing? Obviously not. So I'm not going to put it all on coaching. And he showed that he was special. I think he needs to put a little bit more weight on and take a lot less hits. But as of right now, I would rather have Jaden Daniels over
Yeah,
Caleb
I
Williams.
agree. If you were to ask me today, right now, I would take Jaden Daniels, but durability is a concern for
Yes,
me.
he's very lanky. Yeah,
It was coming out of the draft. He's very frail. Um, but if you had a gun to my head and you said you have to pick one quarterback, Caleb Williams or Jaden Daniels to play for the Bears this season, I would probably take Jaden Daniels.
yeah. He's and like I said, and we're taking Ben Johnson. No, he could be coached up. Another good one. God, so many guys from their draft class. One of my favorite quarterbacks. Would you rather J.J. McCarthy or Caleb Williams? I'll start because I'm a big fan of J.J. I will say Caleb. He showed me if we were doing this before I saw the season, I would have probably said J.J. But Caleb, as hard as I was on him and I was down on our season, again he threw for a decent amount of yards, didn't throw a lot of interceptions. And he was a rookie. I don't think J.J. McCarthy is going to have a similar year. I know Kevin O'Connell calls a hell of a game, but J.J. McCarthy's just not that type of quarterback. I think he's more of the, I don't want to say Brady because he evolved, but just game manager with a big arm who can get big third downs when you need him to. But I don't know if he's going to be slinging the rock all over the place.
Yeah, I'm taking Caleb over JJ. I like JJ as well, but I don't think he has enough experience in
No.
a NFL offense. Not and it's just throws too in terms of reading a defense. Michigan didn't throw the ball a lot; they ran a ton. I think it's going to take JJ a few years to kind of get things, together. But the future is bright for JJ McCarthy. But
And the
I'm still
Vikings in general,
Caleb
yeah.
Williams.
Gonna be tough. We just fucking got Micah Parsons. We got the fucking stacked ass Vikings, and the Lions aren't going anywhere. Another easy one. Would you rather Caleb Williams or this bad man Josh Allen? Obviously, both gonna say Josh Allen because this guy's
Yeah.
a superhero. Another guy who kind of shook off some of the bust accusations as a rookie until now, but it's just crazy how good he is, how durable he is. We're talking about durability, where he takes a lot of big hits and he keeps coming. He can't get over the Mahomes hump, but he's been in multiple AFC Championship games. He's got an MVP under his belt now.
He's so good.
Yeah, he's amazing.
So good.
Another easy one: Lamar Jackson or Caleb, and same thing. I mean, this. I don't know if I ever would have thought we'd have had a guy like Lamar Jackson. Like it just we never thought it'd work out. And I always thought he was injury prone. And I looked, he really doesn't get injured that much. Like he's pretty healthy. He's had a few bad years where he missed like 4 games, but the
He's
throwing
what
ability
Michael
just
he's what Michael Vick should have been.
I don't know about should have been. I think what we thought he was going to be, but his ability to throw is really like gets glossed over a lot. He's got really high completion percentage. I mean, he's obviously not Peyton Manning, but he makes really good throws. Um, and obviously just untouchable on the ground with Derrick Henry. I don't know. They're my favorite in the AFC this year. I think eventually they got to get over the hump. I think the Chiefs are on the downslide. I think the Bills just don't got enough pieces, and the Bengals, they're in disarray. Oh, another good one. Would you rather Caleb Williams or Justin Fields? Uh, I mean, as one of Justin Fields' biggest fans, I'll say again after the season, I will say that obviously Caleb Williams for Justin. He doesn't get hurt as much. He's not taking as many hits. He's obviously a better thrower for the football. That being said, I will be rooting for Justin this year. I think he is going to have a resurgence. And have a really strong year. I mean, he already got a little bit banged up, but I think Aaron Glenn's going to use him right, and um, he'll shake off some of the bust accusations and maybe have a decent second half of his career.
I hope he does. I just don't share the same sentiment as you. Um, he looked terrible in the preseason. Um, I really hope Justin Fields can turn it around at some point.
I don't know. I think the
I really,
Jets just kind of look shitty every year.
but I'm going Caleb Williams, and it's not close right now.
I don't know about that. All right, this is another easy one. Why is it so small? What the fuck? Would you rather Russell Wilson or is this an actual one? Is that Russell? I thought it was Jameis for a second. Russell Wilson or Caleb Williams?
Yeah, I'm going Caleb Williams. Russell, if you would ask me 10 years ago,
10. I
I'd say
don't know. 10. Jeez, that's a long time. I mean, obviously, Caleb. I think Russ's peak is what Caleb did in his rookie year going forward now. So obviously, we want some more of the upside. And Russ has got none left. Would you rather Caleb Williams or Kyler Murray? I think what I've always been saying is worst case scenario. I think Caleb will be Kyler statistically. I think that's kind of where he was last year. But I think going forward, I'd rather have Caleb. Kyler's already shown he's got injured too many damn times already. He's small and frail, but I do think like talent level, I do think Caleb and Kyler have a lot in common.
yeah, I'm going Caleb Williams. I think he's got a better upside, and like you were saying, the durability issue, um, it really has hindered his career growth.
Yeah.
So I'm going Caleb Williams.
Another good one. Generational talent versus generational talent. Would you rather Trevor Lawrence or Caleb Williams?
Um, this is tough. This one's probably one of the tougher ones because I do like Trevor Lawrence. I like his build. I like his skill set. Um, but the decision making hasn't all been there. He tends to make a lot of poor decisions down the line. Caleb had a little bit better of a year statistically in the touchdown to interception ratio. He takes care of the ball a little bit better. If we are taking into consideration coaching as well, um, I will. I'm still taking Caleb. It's tough. It's close. It's
I I'll
close.
disagree with you. I don't think it's close there. I think Trevor Lawrence
It's
has
close.
been even more overrated than I thought Caleb Williams was coming in. And not to shit on Caleb again, I just think he was getting kind of what happened on Arch Manning to talk about that, where the expectations were too high. I think Trevor Lawrence has been mediocre as hell. I think Caleb's last year was basically on par with the best year that Trevor's had. And I think Trevor Lawrence is just going to be
Trevor
better.
threw for 4,000 yards though.
Yeah,
Uh,
but I mean, some of that you got to take with a grain of salt. I mean, 4,000 yards, but I don't know. That's not a huge barometer to me. I just think Caleb looked better than Trevor.
and he went to the playoffs.
Yeah, he was on a good team. I mean, if our defense played good, I mean, how many games did I don't know. I don't want to talk about it. don't want to get into last year.
It was
I'm
close.
trying to, yeah, but maybe it is. I don't know. I'm a big. I didn't like Trevor Lawrence. I thought he was a little overrated, and he showed. Easy one, which I mean, Patrick
Yeah,
Mahomes or
no
Caleb Williams.
comment.
Come on, I mean, at this point, he's like on GOAT status almost. This one might be close. Would you rather Jordan Love or Caleb Williams? Oh, what that?
I would have to, if we're talking about the next 2 or 3 years, coaching and everything. Yeah, Jordan Love has a little bit of injury history last year, but as of right now, again, gun in my head, I'd probably take Jordan Love.
This one I think I'm deviate. I think I take Caleb. I don't know if you throw Caleb on the Packers and Jordan Love on the Bears. I think they'd have similar outcomes. I don't think Jordan Love's that good. I think the Packers, as I always been stable, is just a really good run organization. But I think Jordan Love doesn't have a very high ceiling. I think he's a talented guy and they do good things, but I don't think he's that special. I don't see an MVP.
He's a hell of a football player.
I think he's a good football player. Yeah, I don't see an MVP in his future. Is what I'm saying. Would you rather Michael Penix or Caleb Williams?
I haven't seen enough Michael Penix to say I would choose him over Caleb, so I'll go with Caleb. I have not watched a whole lot of Penix Jr. I know he's older. I don't like the throwing motion.
That's what was when you were talking. That was the only thing that left my head. I
Like,
don't really like the throwing motion either.
yeah. So I would go Caleb here just because I don't know enough about Michael Penix Jr. to make a detailed, guess on that. So I would go Caleb.
I'll go Caleb too. I think Michael Penix, funny enough, has got a lot of maybe not skill set wise, but just I think he's going to be a lot of Kirk Cousins in him, where just a lot of yards. I think he can throw the ball, but I think it's not conducive with winning. He's going to get a lot of garbage time stats. I don't like the motion. Dak Prescott or Caleb Williams?
I mean, Dak. I'm going Dak here. Dak's won 12 games in Dallas, multiple years in a row when he's healthy. But he's an MVP caliber player when he is healthy. So if we're talking the next 2 or 3 years with Ben Johnson as his head coach and offensive play caller and play designer, I'm going Dak Prescott,
I'd
especially
have
with
to agree if we're being fair, you just have to say Dak's already proven so much, and he really is not on the downside. I guess maybe on the downside, but the beginning of it, and he should still be great. And I imagine he's going to throw more touchdowns, more yards than Caleb. Well, this is an easy one. Would you rather Spencer Rattler or Caleb Williams?
Yeah, it's Caleb Williams and it's easy. I don't know who the starter quarterback is. Is it him? Is it Tyler
Yeah,
Shuck?
no,
I
they
mean,
named him. They named Spencer Rattler as the
the
quarterback
Saints
starter.
will finish with the worst record in the
They
NFL.
had to. They had to. Well, this one might be difficult. I don't know. But would you
Nah,
rather Justin Herbert or Caleb Williams?
for me, you call me an internet fanboy, whatever. For me, it's not even close. It's Justin Herbert by a mile. For the next 2 or 3 years, absolutely Justin Herbert.
I guess I'd say Justin Herbert. I don't have the same sentiment by a mile. I think he's riding a lot of the highs of his rookie season, but he hasn't really done much in the sense of winning. I mean, yards are yards. I guess another easy one. Would you rather Aaron Rodgers on his last leg or Caleb Williams?
That's a horrible picture of Aaron Rodgers.
There was none of him in a Steelers jersey, so I had
Yeah,
to get
that
like
looks
this
like
shitty one.
that looks
It's
like
like
a
a
Terry
cropped one.
Bradshaw.
Yeah, it's like cropped because there are no pictures. He didn't do anything in the preseason, so there's no pictures of him in a jersey.
Yeah, no, I'm going Caleb Williams. This is
Yeah,
Aaron Rodgers last year.
yeah, he's washed.
He's done.
I guess this was a topic of conversation last year, but would you rather C.J. Stroud or Caleb Williams? I'll go. I think I'd say Caleb. I think if you asked me before the season last year, I would have said Stroud, but he came back down to reality, and he showed that when the defense isn't firing on all cylinders and all his receivers aren't healthy, he isn't that. I won't say not that special, but he was mediocre, a little bit better than that. And I think Caleb's got a little more upside than him.
This is tough because I love the way CJ. Again, it's the build thing. The CJ Stroud just looks like an NFL quarterback. Um, he's got a big arm, but when Nico Collins went down, the wheels fell off for Houston. Nico Collins, I think, is more important to that offense than CJ Stroud is. So I will say Caleb Williams, but this one is very close
Yeah,
as
this
well.
one's tough. The NFL's like it's tough. I mean, and we haven't really had this feeling before where our quarterback is so close to some of these guys. He's really just in the prove it stage. He proved that he's an NFL quarterback, that he could throw 20 touchdowns, not throw a lot of interceptions, he throw a decent amount of yards. Um, so if all things go how they're supposed to, and he takes the next step, then obviously he's going to be a 30 touchdown guy. You know, what I mean, 4,000 yards, and it looks that way in Ben Johnson. That's how Ben Johnson's been coaching people up. Maybe another tough one. I don't know. It depends on how you grade quarterbacks. But would you rather Tua Tagovailoa or Caleb Williams?
I'm gonna take Caleb because I feel like if somebody breathes on Tua the wrong way, his career is over due to concussions. And that's the only reason why is durability in the next 2 or 3 years. I like Tua, but I feel like Tyreek Hill carried that offense over the last several years. It's all quick slants, and it's not just Tyreek Hill. I forget who the other dude is, who the other wide receiver is for Miami, but they've got speed. They've got those guys that could take those 5 yard slant routes to the house, and I feel like a lot of that is contributes to Tua's completion percentage as well as his yardage. But I will take Caleb Williams. Durability is a huge concern for me with Tua. I like Tua, but it's for me, it's Caleb Williams all the way.
Yeah, I guess we take durability into it. I have to say, and I don't. Yeah, maybe Caleb. I don't. This is a weird one for me because I guess if he wasn't banged up, it's hard to deny his talent. I mean, I guess you can contribute it to the wide receivers, but they've got backups in there. They don't do that well. Would you rather Baker Mayfield or Caleb Williams?
I mean, you're a huge Baker fan, so why don't you go first?
I definitely would say Baker. I just think he's been on multiple different teams, multiple different coaching staffs, multiple different receiver corps, and proved every step of the way that he was better than people thought. His numbers speak for themselves, so it's hard for me to say Caleb is going to be better than somebody who's been to the playoffs multiple times, thrown 4,000 yards multiple times. I mean, he was borderline MVP last year. So I'd definitely say Baker.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Baker here as well. Just because again, if we keep saying coaching, 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 I feel like Ben Johnson would do an amazing job with Baker Mayfield as his quarterback. Play designs and play calling, everything else like that. So, like you said, he's thrown for 4,000 yards multiple times, not just with Tampa Bay, but also with Cleveland. You got the 2 short stints in LA and Carolina, but we don't count those. The 2 mainstays that he's had so far, he's had really good success. I really do like Baker. So I will go Baker Mayfield here.
Would you rather Sam Darnold or Caleb Williams, two USC products?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Caleb Williams here. Sam Darnold had a hell of a year last year. Um, but the clock strikes midnight on this Cinderella, and he's gonna turn back into a pumpkin wearing a Seattle Seahawks jersey. I feel like Kevin O'Connell really hid a lot of his weaknesses, and we're gonna see the Sam Darnold that we saw in the Jets when he was seeing ghosts.
Yeah, I definitely say Caleb because I just don't have any faith, but we will see how it goes. I'm not. Maybe he won't backslide. Like we were talking about earlier, Geno Smith was one of the first guys we've ever seen really have a resurgence and have what, 2, 3 good years after being labeled dead in the water. Um, but yeah, Caleb, I would definitely Caleb. You're not going to see that again, and that is the last one, I believe. Let's see.
That
Yep.
was the list.
All
Oof.
right, lots happened. The Bears let the Packers get um, Micah Parsons, and it really let us down. But really can't stop anything. We didn't have Micah going into the season, so we only got to play them twice. We still got to do what we do and make the best of what we have.
Yeah,
Um,
and you know what? We don't play Green Bay until weeks 14 and week
yeah,
16 anyway.
he might
And
be
by
out.
then, who knows? Who knows? But we are 2 days removed from NFL football week one, Thursday night.
Sir.
Dallas and Philly. I'm going to be all over that.
Yeah.
We are 6 days away from Bears Vikings Monday.
Yes.
Well, I, I
Gambling began.
I can't tell you how fucking pumped I am for the NFL season to kick off. Let's fucking go. Like you said, it's betting season. It's fantasy
My
football.
favorite time of the year.
They're gonna fucking. I already made my futures bets. They just. It's just gonna take more of my money. And now with the state of Illinois passing the sportsbook tax, and every bet that you make gets a 50-cent tax. So that's fucking great. But
Oh,
NFL season is here. Let's go.
all
Bears.
right. Like, follow, subscribe, all the good stuff, and we will see you guys after the Bears beat the Vikings on Monday.
We
Adios.
will absolutely. Adios.